Hi guys. Happy early Tuesday. So I'm Cindy, humble host, and we are going to dissect Tracy Martin feeling the need to come out and do an interview with one Graham Allen, calling Candace all kinds of liars, like they debunked anything at all. And I will say, like I do with Erica, if their lips are moving, they're lying. They're lying liars that lie. Period. So we're going to get into that. We're going to touch on a video of Andrew. And I want to show you, I want to touch back with a couple things I did yesterday because I found more to add with it. So the epic place that you, epic foundation thingamajig at UVU yesterday. And then James Rollin. So this, if you remember, this is James.
When I heard a sharp crack, at first I thought it might have been fireworks or a disruptive prank, so I looked up to the horizon for smoke. When none appeared, I realized it must have been a firearm. My friend reacted in horror, saying Charlie had been struck. His voice and description told me how serious it was. Based on his reaction, I believed Charlie had been gravely injured. I instinctively checked the security team's movement, though I have no affiliation with them. Realizing the situation was dangerous, I stood and shouted USA, not as a provocation, but to project strength, encourage others, and create a distraction that might help calm panic or even save lives. My friend was devastated.
Yes, James, you're a real encouragement. Said no one ever, in my opinion. So that's James. I just wanted to give you a reminder of that. This is James's wife. This is Astrid Rawlinson. And you see, she proudly stands with New Jersey. Can't make this shit up. Okay. And then we touched on the epic with the big $200 million. I don't even know what you call it, a donation, whatever. I mean, if you ask me my opinion, not a donation. It's hush money. It's like, we're going to do some dirty shit here. So here's $2 million. I own you. Shut up. In my opinion, allegedly. So I found more on this and I thought it was interesting. It says Epic Ventures gains 200 million fresh capital on August 28th. And which I should have put up here and I didn't, but you can go. We played this video yesterday, so I mean, it's boring. The bank that they're tied to is literally called the Zion Bank. So I just wanted to make that clear and point out this date, August 28th. They suddenly got a 200 million fresh capital. Okay. So I think we'll start with Tracy. And the interviewer is Graham Allen. And in case you don't know who Graham Allen is, take the liberty of figuring that out. Oh, this is, oh, well, I should turn it on. Look at me pulling a bear in. Right there. Okay, so this is Graham Allen. He travels from, if you want to book him, I guess, he travels from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Graham Allen is an accomplished entrepreneur, author, media personality, and combat veteran. He served in the United States Army for over 12 years, including 2 tours during Operation Iraq Freedom, and completed his service as an Army Staff Sergeant E6. His military experience includes deployment to Iraq, which I don't know why he felt the need to say it twice, reinforcing his firsthand knowledge of combat operations. After his service, Allen settled in South Carolina, transitioned into a multifaceted career. He advocates for conservative principles, Second Amendment rights, and the foundational values of the United States. His advocacy extends across media platforms where he is emerged as significant voice. Allen contributes to Turning Point Faith, and it's frequently asked as a political commentator on Fox News, discussing topics ranging from political corruption to the importance of Judeo-Christian values in America. Allen's influence is marked by his robust social media presence with channels that have attracted over 5 million followers. Blah, 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 blah. So that is Graham in all his glory. To Graham Allen, conservative podcaster, Army veteran from Caledonia, has been appointed as Director of Digital Media at the Department of Defense. The announcement was made earlier this week, making a transition from Allen's media career to a role within the Pentagon. So this is Graham Allen that's going to be interviewing good old Tracy. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. So we knew who he was. We're going to start with the Tracy interview.
Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? I'm like, you guys, I'm with my mom and dad taking care of my older parents.
And she has used that
as there's nothing to hide. And
that you were the mom that Candace Owens has been taught. Assassination attempt on Charlie Kirk's life. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I introduce to you Tracy Martin.
Hello,
Tracy,
Graham.
thanks for being here.
Of course.
Before we start, because a lot of people are going to see this and they're going to ask this is our first time meeting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I haven't promised you any money.
Okay. We're going to stop right there, right from the first couple sentences. He doesn't need to offer her any money because she has a buttload of it from all her LLCs and her bestie, Erica, in my opinion, allegedly. And he doesn't need it because he's got a bunch of LLCs and, pro-Zion church group Christians. I'll leave it at that. So I think it's cute that right from the rip they feel the need to, so we've never met and I haven't offered you any money, and they're going to get into the whole $7,000 thing like it's not a real thing.
I haven't promised you any promotions in a company. We didn't pick our $7,000 checks up at the door.
I wouldn't take it anyway.
It would take a lot more than that. No,
Yes.
I'm joking. Okay, so you reached out to me
Yes.
via Instagram, and
So she reached out. This is, again, damage control and cleanup. So she reached out to Graham Allen. Why Graham Allen? Well, because Graham Allen is Team PPUSA and Erica, and he's part of the infrastructure there. So she reached out to him to do this cleanup interview.
I saw it. And at first, admittedly, I didn't know who you were. I didn't realize that you were the mom that Candace Owens has been talking about. Mm-hmm. My question to you is this. Before we begin, this is going to be picked apart. We will be attacked by Candace and her, I call them the Canaanites. We will be attacked by them for this.
Yes.
Why are you here? Why would you put yourself through this?
Well, first of all, I believe that this is a moment in time to where we have to speak out at this point. It's gone on long enough. I have been a dear friend to Erica's for 15 years, and everyone that knows Erica in this circle has been through Charlie. You met Charlie, that's how you met Erica. It's been this way. And then I realized that having 15 years of lived experience with her, somebody needs to speak out on the character of who Erica is. And Charlie knew exactly who he was marrying. No. And God knew that Erica would be the woman that she is right now. And so I think when you realize that there is...
We can agree that God definitely knew Erica was going to be the woman that she is. Charlie didn't, I don't believe. God knows all.
A truth to this. And being a believer, I believe that we do protect the people that are being attacked. And I think that it's time that, you know, when you have truth and you realize that you have the voice to use it, because there's nothing.
So protect the people that are being attacked, but your daughter you saved from going to UVU and didn't protect Charlie either. Super.
To hide. And Candace came after my family as well, you know, and so you don't get to do that. And, you don't get to have a platform and use it irresponsibly to destroy people. And you don't see the damage that you're doing because you're sitting in your studio and you're not on the receiving end of DMs, horrific accusations, and she went after my child.
Yeah.
So you just don't get to do that as a mother. I don't think anybody would stand by and watch that.
No.
Okay, first of all, Candace did not go after her child. In fact, Candace went out of her way to not release her child's name, and specifically said that her child didn't have anything to do with this. So, again, if their lips are moving, they are fucking lying. They're liars. Lying liars that lie.
Oh, absolutely not. And I would argue that Candace doesn't care.
Oh, no, definitely not.
She doesn't care about who it hurts in real life. She doesn't care about real life consequences. Candace Owens will say, I didn't do anything wrong because I was simply presenting the facts. Or
she is only presenting the facts, and she does care. That is the reason she's doing it, because Charlie lost his life. If she don't, nobody will, clearly, in his little orbit of fucked up people.
The tips as I got it in real time, which is her defense for cowardice. Right. That is her defense across the board. I don't want to waste any time. People are here to find out the truth.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that's where we are.
Yeah.
We're at a position where we have to combat lies with the truth. It's the only way. It is the only way. So Candace Owens went on this tear where she said, essentially, that you called your daughter, who works for Erica, the day before Charlie's, or very soon before, Charlie was murdered at UVU. That is what she said, and she has used that as a conspiracy that you had prior knowledge, potentially, of Charlie's assassination, that Erica definitely had prior knowledge of Charlie's potential assassination. Or she would say, I didn't exactly say that, but she insinuates.
Right,
and she has affected your family's life. Yes. So let's set the record straight, shall we?
Absolutely.
One, does your daughter in fact work for Erica, and how does she work for Erica?
So I will go back to how we got here.
Okay.
I think it would be, so people can track this. I think it's more important. So I posted a video 3 months after Charlie's assassination in defense of Erica's character. More than anything, I saw what was happening and I just was like, no. So I did the video, and then a few months after that, you know, it was another video just talking about the climate in the world. I mean, with what I do in this world, with working with individuals and families, I see behavior and I see patterns. I recognize patterns really quickly. And so I was watching what was happening with Candace Owens. And so then all of a sudden, I'm with my mom and dad in Missouri, by the way. She did get that right. I did live in Missouri. I was raised in Missouri.
Okay, so little slip up there. I do live and was raised in Missouri. Dear sweet Tracy. Really? There, you'll see Tracy Lynn Martin, 60 years old, and back in Scottsdale, Arizona. And folks, if you don't believe me that that's Tracy, This is the Instagram where you can go see her posting her stuff nonstop. Last known, Scottsdale. And believe me when I say it goes back years and years and years and years, and plenty of she was born in Missouri, but that was it. That was it. And then of course she is this person. She has LLCs out the wazoo. Arrow boring trenching, and that's what her husband does, by the way. He is a excuse me. He is a construction dude. These are all, there's the typical media LLC that every single person that seems to be connected with this group all has an LLC tied into some kind of media. So, and you see it's all out of Arizona. So, stop lying, Tracy. And dude, every time you guys get yourself on camera, you lie and then you get caught in your lies. And you sit here and you bash Candace for exposing you. It's so annoying, and really stay off camera because you can't lie good.
And so I was with my parents, and people were texting me going, "Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Are you?" I'm like, "You guys, I'm with my mom and dad taking care of my older parents." And so I got on my phone and I was like, interesting. So all I see is photos of myself, photos of my husband, and she did use great photos, which I'm thankful for that. But it was basically, who am I? All of the implied framing that she does, not asking neutral questions. It's always implication. Mm-hmm. Who is this person? Well, what does her husband do? All the things. So just a rapid fire. Number one, was raised in Missouri, was raised with horses, definitely not raised wealthy. And the funny thing is all my life is out in a book, which has been out 2 years ago, and Erica wrote the foreword, it's just so ironic that this is all being played out. And then my husband is not a Border Patrol agent. We never lived in Tucson. She says she has paperwork with us purchasing a house from 2011. Never did that. And we didn't live in Arizona in the mid-'80s. So there's all these things that are, again, in her mind, this is what she has. And then she will say, well, I didn't say he was a Border Patrol agent. I thought he could be because he's very military-esque. Yes, we work out. I didn't own gyms. I owned one gym. And none of these things even matter in the whole conversation. But what it is when you deal with a conspiracy psychosis, you realize that you feed the narrative and then you're able to reframe that into any way you want to. So when that all came out, I was like, okay, knowing Candace, she'll be after somebody else, after a couple of days, we'll leave it go. Then she came back, and then she came back again, and she then brought my daughter in, and saying that we had this prior knowledge that you're speaking of, which is absolutely crazy. And so to address that was basically my daughter. It had been talked about that my daughter was going to start possibly traveling with Charlie and Erica months earlier. During the summer, they travel as a family. We had conversations.
What did she do? What did your daughter do before that? So they start talking to her about this, but what was her job?
Her job is for Proclaim Streetwear, which is the clothing line.
Erica's
brand,
line.
Yes,
Okay.
that I actually helped her create. And just, that, and then Bible 365 Ministry.
So not Turning Point.
She's never worked for Turning Point.
Okay.
And
nobody works for Turning Point. That's been proven. Everybody is a subcontractor. So nice try, Tracy. We're well aware of that scam. Nobody works for Turning Point. Duh.
And also, Candace had said when I did speak with Candace, so I do want to say this. I reached out to Candace through a video.
Yeah, you had a conversation with her.
I reached out to Candace on a video basically saying, here I am, okay? If you have these questions and you want to know what's going on and you really want the truth by someone who actually has the truth, I'm right here. I have nothing to hide. And she did send me a DM. And so I did reach back out. We had an hour conversation last week on Sunday.
So hold on. I'm sorry. I have to stop you. So what you're saying is Candace Owens defames you, lies about you and your family, and she reaches out to you, and you had a conversation with Candace Owens on the phone. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So you and Candace Owens.
No. I mean, you can't even keep it straight here. She reached out to Candace, and Candace respectfully answered her back. Get it together, you assholes.
have spoken on the phone.
Yes.
I'm curious, I'm just guessing here, was this in regards to this hit piece documentary that she's trying to put together for Erica Kirk? Was that your understanding of this?
So I think after being on the phone with her for an hour, I think that because there was a moment where she said, we are at an impasse, which again, just from what I do.
You don't want to be at an impasse with Candace.
An impasse means that we no longer agree. So, and then we're going to go our separate ways. And an impasse to me, whenever you decide to call me, my intention for the phone call was to set the record straight.
Right.
About the lies, about the defamation, about all the things that you were saying about my family, and especially my daughter, because you put people in harm's way with no regard. And so, but as the conversation kept going,
No, ma'am. You people put people in harm's way, not Candace. And Candace, yet again, did not put your daughter's information out there. Stop lying. Stop being overdramatic. Stop trying to flip the narrative and be the victim. You're not the fucking victim. Charlie Kirk is.
I realized it was just basically to tell me that I didn't know Erica, that Erica was lying at every single point in time, and that she never loved Charlie, the relationship, all the things that we believe are opinions, right?
Right.
And so when that happened, when she said we're at an impasse, I said, yeah, we are. Because you have perceived information and created content. I have a 15-year lived experience with this person, and I know who this person is. And so that's when I realized that I truly believe that, and again, this is in Candace's own words, this is my opinion, I believe that it was just a call to come between Erica and I to try to, and I had no idea that this expose was coming up when I took the call for her. It was just, like I said, to right the wrong. I am a confrontational person when I need to defend, and I need to stand up for truth, whether it's myself or someone that I care about. And I don't believe
you, Tracy. I believe you knew the expose was coming out, and I believe this is why you're doing this video with this ass hat, is to try and do damage control. And Tracy, you suck at it.
I believe, like I said, it's very irresponsible.
So in the call, you said something very interesting to me. You said, Candace said to you, she didn't believe that Erica ever loved Charlie.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel when you hear something like that from Candace Owens? As someone who's known Erica for 15 years, so you've known Erica from the moment she met Charlie, all the way through their marriage, their children.
I remember the first day I met Charlie. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That to me is the that's the first time I'm hearing that. Candace Owens truly believes, based off your conversation with her, that Erica never loved Charlie, and it's based off what?
Well, it's based off a delusion, first of all, because again, this is the lens that you see things through. But you know, I was at Erica and Charlie's wedding. You know, I mean, and unfortunately, I was at his funeral. I mean, the private funeral. And so I think that when you have someone that's outside that is trying to outright destroy someone, they will take any tactic that they can if they believe that it serves their actual narrative.
Okay, I want everybody to think back that for how long did Candace go? She started discussing Charlie Kirk. She did not allow her first video to be monetized. He was very respectful to Erica, and she in fact said there's only one person that could make her stop, and that would be Erica. But Erica did not ask her to stop until after Erica had already been in a cesspool of lies that really made Candace start thinking, okay, this is bigger than I thought. So again, if their lips are moving, they're lying.
On purpose.
Wow.
And that's what I see happening. And these tactics are such psychological, warfare out in today's world. And that's honestly too, Graham, one of my biggest reasonings why I wanted to talk about this was it's overarching. It's not just Erica and Charlie. It's Erica and Charlie today. Yeah. It was you. It was all kinds of people. And
I'm a pedophile, according to Candace Owens.
I mean, do you understand the boldness that this takes to lie about someone to that type of a degree? I mean, that's where I know it's definitely the enemy at work. It's definitely spiritual battles. And the thing is when Charlie was assassinated, I still can't wrap my head around it, but when he was assassinated, this world experienced a revival. We had people I had clients, young clients, asking me for Bibles, asking me, hey, T, can you teach me this scripture? And I am by no means a theologian, but I am on fire for Christ because I know that the world needs him. And that's the other thing too, is this was hijacked. This was hijacked, and then now you've got this collateral damage of Erica and people that care about Erica. And the reason why and again, I think I did insert myself in this because I did step out and defend Erica and her character.
But we should.
Yes,
We are supposed to, as Christians, specifically the widows and the orphans. Like the Bible is very clear on this, as you should. And so I respect you for that, because very few people right now are doing anything to combat Candace Owens because they are afraid not of her influence over people, because that's what it is. It is cult-like influence.
Let me correct you, though, Graham. It is a perceived influence and a perceived place of authority.
Cult-like influence. Candace. So I guess, I mean, if you want to call it the cult of truth and transparency, super cult we are. Better than the kind of cult y'all are, which is evil and demonic, and you can sit here and do interviews and just lie through your fucking teeth
on a platform.
Right.
That's truly what that is. She's a podcaster at the end of the day.
Exactly right. Her sources inside the government are bottom GS8, GS9 level employees that don't know anything at that. But to the point, they're afraid of her vindictiveness, of how there is no depth too low that Candace Owens will go. We could talk for 3 hours, but let's shift back to the point. So your daughter never worked for Turning Point USA. No. She worked for Erica, for Proclaim, and Bible 365.
Right.
Okay, at some point, and I want you to be very clear with this.
Again, nobody works for TPUSA. Nobody.
At some point, Erica and Charlie start talking to her about perhaps coming along these college campus tours that Charlie does, and then you had an opinion on that.
Right.
What was that opinion, and then when did that conversation actually happen?
So again, she does Bible 365 and Proclaim. She does work down sometimes at the headquarters, you know. So she's in the building. She doesn't do anything for the Charlie Kirk show, which is what Candace said, that she had proof of that. And none of that's true.
Her being in the building is proof that she works on the Charlie Kirk.
So no, she does not work.
Okay, Candace quite literally said her daughter was Erica's assistant. Yes? They're just trying to use semantics. That's all you're doing, Tracy. You're using semantics. Stop it. It's not working. You're annoying.
Do they ask her to do something? I don't know. I'm not there every day, but I do know what she did. So the conversation came. We're in a very intimate place because we've been in their home. We're with their kids. I mean, and all the information about, you know, Erica not giving, just crazy stuff, not being pregnant. It's so crazy. So we have the intimate knowledge, right? And so we're there. We see it. And so there was conversation about my daughter starting to travel with those guys. Never said anything about a campus tour, or this was absolutely what this was. It was a conversation of traveling. This happened during the summer, which is when Charlie and Erica travel as a family. So I didn't have any conversation back and forth with Erica. And so the day that the assassination happened, I was in my coaching studio with my clients back to back. And as you can imagine, people knowing my relationship with Erica, my phone going off, conversations, phone calls, text messages, just boom, boom, boom. I had clients that some knew Charlie, some were distraught. I mean, it was just a very emotional day, to be completely honest with you. I had an appointment that I canceled with my hair person, and then I had a friend of mine that was going to come in and take a book. I don't know if this is this person or not, because again, Candace has not produced anything for me at all, even though I asked her for it. And so the text message or the conversation was that I had prior knowledge. And so spinning that, which was basically my emotions of, oh my gosh, what if my daughter would have been there? I didn't know where Erica, go ahead.
So no, I don't want to stop you. So, okay, and just because I know how her audience works, so just to back this up before we go back to that, in the summer, there were conversations of your daughter potentially like adding to her role and or doing more traveling, and you didn't even know if it was the campus events in general, and you expressed some reservations potentially to your daughter in the summer.
Exactly.
So not days, not weeks before, months before.
Well, Graham, as Tracy has acknowledged, she is Erica's bestie. So Tracy was highly involved with taking care of mom and taking care of Erica, and she's in the know. You can sit here and play like she wasn't in the fucking know, but she was in the know, and we all know this was being planned months before. And stop with the so your daughter didn't work for TPUSA. Nobody did.
Months before reviewing like her job, what she was doing, you know, are you happy? You know, can you be an asset? Are you valuable? Those types of things. Just how I am as a mom.
Okay.
And then that was the conversation. And so it was a what if moment of,
Right.
and like I said, doing what I do, my what if was not just safety for Erica and all of them. I mean, you know the volatile world that we live in.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
I've been
just,
to those campus stores with
yeah,
Charlie.
and I've heard firsthand the threats. I mean, we've talked about those, the threats, the kidnapping threats, all the things that they were living with on a daily basis. And so, yeah, my mind as a mom went, I don't want you to go. I don't want that to be part of your role, is basically what it was. So that day of the emotion, my mind went to, what if my daughter would have been there?
The day when Charlie was murdered. So we jumped months ahead of time.
Correct.
You're at work, you find out about Charlie being murdered,
Correct.
and then someone is there that you just are outwardly saying, can you imagine if your daughter had been there?
Just as a mother thinking not only the safety, but what would that have done to her to witness that? You know, the impact of that, the imprints that happens on someone's psyche. It was all of the things that my mind just went to that moment of what if. And so, and then even like with Erica, I didn't know where Erica was at the time.
Right.
And so, and then I know Erica was with her mother.
Yeah.
And so, and I was not.
I beg to differ. In my humble opinion, Tracy Martin, Erica was not with her mother. You were with her mother. Possibly. Maybe. Allegedly. Erica, I believe, was sitting in an airplane in the city that Charlie wasn't even in yet. That's just my opinion, Tracy. But you can spin your lies and try to do it however you want.
That was another thing that Candace said on our call. I was not with Erica that day.
Yeah.
I was not with her. And so, you know, it's as a mother, you right away go to worst case scenarios. No different than if you have a bad feeling about something and your daughter starts to beginning, well, I don't know if this is a good job for you. I don't know if this is, you know, what does this job entail? What are these types of things? And so it became that type of a mental track that I'm like, oh my gosh, what if she would have been there? What she would have seen? What would have happened? And then my mind went through, you know, she's safe, she's good. And so this person is basically a friend that I was like, you know, venting to. And so I think that when something is taken out of context, plugged into a narrative and then ran out.
She told on you that you confided in. The person that confided in told on you. And now you're spinning her narrative. We see what you're doing, Tracy. You're completely transparent. We see you.
I can see where people get twisted on this, and it's very manipulative.
Yeah.
But there's no context.
Yeah.
You know, and whoever this person is, if this text exists, you know, you could have easily said, "Can you clarify this?"
Yeah.
You know, this was a crazy emotional day for everyone, and especially.
So she's really more concerned about what person sold her out. That's really, so she must have yapped it to multiple people, and she wants to know who it was that sold her out.
Since my family's very involved.
No, I agree. So just to be clear, to set the record straight on this one, we got a couple things we got to set straight. Your daughter works for Erica's Proclaim clothing line
Yes.
and Bible 365.
Yes.
She's never worked for Turning Point USA.
No.
And this conversation that you had with your daughter on you don't know how you feel about her traveling with Charlie and Erica more happened months in advance,
Yes.
not the day before or days before Charlie was murdered.
No. No.
That's a mighty big difference.
Yeah.
Than,
It's not, and since you felt the need to reiterate that for the fifth time that I can count, never was it said that she worked for Turning Point USA, and we know that nobody works for Turning Point USA. They scam, and it is all subcontractors. We were told she was Erica's assistant, and it is exactly how her mother is making it sound. That would be Erica's assistant, yes? So stop it, Graham. Stop. Guy just irritates the hell out of me.
the narrative that Candace Owens
Yeah.
has been pushing. And
I actually said to Candace on the call, I said, mother to mother, you know your volatile workplace. You know, this is not my world.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in this world, you know, and that's why, again, the conversation, the concern is being twisted and manipulated.
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful. And what I specifically want to point out is this. Candace Owens, at some point, and for the audience here, Candace Owens got a tip from someone about something, and she took that, and instead of doing any actual conversations of talking to you beforehand, she just went with it.
Right.
Because the power of the breadcrumbs, the power of the what if right now.
Okay. How many times did we see when Candace was inquiring on her show about Tracy Martin? Did she ask Tracy Martin if you would like to, you know, get a hold of the show or do an interview or have a chat with me? Shut up. You're liars.
Now, the psychosis of the conspiracy is taking over. Let's talk about another one. Candace Owens has been on a tangent that Erica's alibi is falling apart. I want to be very clear. There is no alibi. Erica Kirk is not a suspect in any shape, form, or fashion in any way. This is simple truth versus not truth, events versus things that never happened. I want to be very clear.
Grant, you're not the... I mean, who the fuck are you? She is a suspect. She's a suspect to all of us. And if... I mean, y'all let your narrative go, Tyler Robinson will take the rap for their bullshit, but we're not going to take it. So you can act like... Well, I mean, you work for the DOD. Big deal. We're not leaving you alone either. And you probably are a pet.
About this. Candace Owens is saying that Erica was not with her mother, who, as I understand it, is very sick.
Very
Oh
sick.
my God,
and admittedly, you're right. My relationship was always more with Charlie. Respectfully so. Why would I talk to her all the time, the wife of my friend? I always talk to Charlie.
Right.
So I wasn't as aware how unwell Erica's mother is.
Yes.
Candace Owens has been saying that Erica was not with her mother on the day that Charlie was assassinated. Is that true? Is that not true?
Complete lie on Candace's part. It is there's verifiable information that she was with her mother at
Then you would have
treatment.
shown
Okay, now when you say there's verifiable information, what do you mean by that? What do you mean when you say there's verifiable information?
Verifiable information from sources, from the clinic, from places like that can verify that she absolutely was with her mother. There's photos, there's timestamps. I have a text message. It's undeniable. And I think the thing with Candace is that to say those things, she said on my call that it's verified that Erica was there on the 8th. I'm like, no, she was actually there the morning, the day of. And that was a conversation with her and Charlie that home needs you, your mom needs you,
right.
You need to take care of your mother. And that's what Erica has done, because to your point, I don't think people realize the depth of Lori's illness. And that was something that
Candace openly said she had knowledge that Erica's mother had Lyme disease and that she was sick. Again, you're spinning your narrative how you want to spin it, and you're using the sickness of the mom to mind fuck people and manipulate them into, oh, poor Erica, she was with her sick mother. How could you? How dare you? Why would you say such a thing? Shut up.
kind of pushed back on when we called. She said, well, I know she was diagnosed with this, and I know they had treatment. Even Candace's place of where Lori had treatment was incorrect.
Right.
So there's all these things that you know, yes, she was with her mother. I was not with Erica that day. She was with her mother. It's verifiable from the clinic, from backing up text messages from other people. We know that's where she was.
So
very confident in that.
So you know that there is confirmation from the clinic that Erica was with her mother on the day that Charlie was assassinated.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely, like, that right there tears apart everything.
No. And mind you, multiple of these people, including her, Tracy, they own clinics. This is what they do. Holistic healing and whatnot. So, yeah. Go try to mindfuck somebody else with that bullshit.
Thing that Candace Owens is trying to lie. And I think as we continue, I'm kind of taken back by it a little bit. And I would say this, like, I'm sure that people are going to watch and you're going to say, well, where's the evidence? Show us the evidence. Well, I would say this, call us on it, Candace. We dare you. Call us on it.
You got it.
Let's see
You've
what
already
you
been
do.
called on it.
Moving back to the conversation.
Yes.
And I want to drive this home as we continue to debunk these lies.
He's clearly got a lot of rage towards Candace because she has called him out on being a perv. So he's got to look directly in the camera and say, I dare you. Well, she already has. Fuck's sake, she already has. Shut up, guy.
If Candace will bold-faced lie about these things, then, and this goes out to the people that watch her, how can they trust her to be truthful about anything?
Well, and I think if you look at the timeline of all this stuff from when, like I said earlier, when there was a revival and she kind of hijacked that movement with trying in her mind of I'm just seeking truth and asking questions. I gave her truth that she did not want. Even there's a video out there about her. She said that Erica and Charlie had an argument the night before. And I said, that's not true. And she said, yes, it is because they woke up their daughter. And I said, well, have you been to their home?
How would was she in the bedroom?
Well, that's my point.
How would she know?
And I told her, I said, have you been to their home? Do you understand this? Do you understand how small the home is? And I said, because I have. I've been there multiple times. And she said, well, I just know that that's not true. And I'm like, well, it is true that Erica wanted Charlie to get a good night's sleep. And if he walks past his daughter's room, he absolutely would be in the kitchen and could easily wake her up. But the thing that's so crazy about this, Graham, is that these are lifestyles that don't matter. You know, I mean, but it's another explosive thing that she thinks she has to incite emotional chaos with people that their brain automatically goes to trying to fill in the blanks. This is
So I'm just out of curiosity. Does Tracy think that she's going to get up here and say all this and people are going to be like, oh, gosh. Well, that makes sense. Oh, but that's right. Erica acts funny and she hasn't even really grieved. And get out of here, man. Again, if their lips are moving, they're lying. And I don't know why they're so stupid to get on camera and put the lies on camera.
Human behavior 101. And so, you know, they didn't have an argument. And Erica, I mean, I could have woken up their daughter if I was in the kitchen. You know,
they had a priest come and pray over their marriage. I don't know about y'all. Is that a common theme for people that are Catholic or whatever? Do you often have a priest come pray over your marriage? And we know that Charlie was stressed out to the max. We know that he was sending text messages to everybody saying that he felt he was going to die.
No, I mean, these are the things I think that people don't, they just go, oh, there's more, oh, there's more, oh, there's more. And human behavior, like I said, our brain will fill in those blanks when you are in this conspiratorial psychosis. Yeah. You absolutely will.
Candace is framing it the way that I've seen her frame exactly what you're talking about. She frames it as though Charlie woke up their daughter, and somewhere in between, Erica was like, well, just go sleep in the daughter's room. What seems to have really happened is the daughter came into the bedroom, their bed, which is something that happens to 99.8% of parents. And everybody who has kids knows that if you've got something important to do that day, you're not sleeping because kids are like bowling pins
all over
in the bed. So that's when Erica said, you go sleep in her room.
Correct.
And because I believe he had an early flight that next day.
Yep.
That is a completely different...
early flight the next day, and he had just got in from Japan. But unless Gigi has in that little small apartment that she just stressed is small, a king-size bed, I really don't see where Charlie would be comfortable going and getting into a toddler's bed to sleep. Makes no sense. Again, they think we're stupid.
Right.
That key little bit of context. Again, Candace Owens is leaving that out, leaving it out.
But I think leaving it out is what seeds the doubt and the implication for other people to fill in the blanks. So that is her job. You know, even on the video, she says these kids are sleep trained. A toddler should be in REM sleep.
Because she has a night nanny. That's why I'm saying that.
I'm sorry. I've raised kids and I'm a grandmother of 2 grandsons, so I can tell you right now.
Yes.
Good luck with a toddler.
I
in
haven't
REM
slept
sleep.
in 15 years.
You're not going to, trust me.
Yeah,
It doesn't get any better.
I haven't slept in 15 years.
Yeah.
And so when I heard her say that, it immediately went rich, elitist, night nanny mindset. You know, I wouldn't doubt that after, outside of breastfeeding, and this is my opinion, Candace Owens probably has a night nanny. She probably didn't
We
wake
don't
up
know,
with
but
her
who
children.
knows?
I don't know, but
Yes.
if she can conclude that because the daughter woke up.
Listen here, you fucking asshole. She homeschools her children personally. She doesn't have somebody personally doing it. That is all day that she spends with her children. So shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're big mad. All of you are big mad because your shit is being put out there. You're being found out. You are all a part of it. And screw you all. You're all disgusting, repulsive, money hungry. And you have the audacity to call her rich with a nanny. When we know that, I know that these two have the LLCs and they, for all I know, they could be more well off than Candace is.
They had a fight. Well, I can conclude if you don't know that 3-year-olds wake up at 2:30 in the morning, you obviously are not getting up with your children.
Kids.
But
it's life.
Yeah, let's digress back into some more of these things here. And I want to ask you, because to your point, you have 15 years of knowing Erica. There's another thing that Candace has been pushing, where she has been pushing that the day Charlie was murdered, Erica not only didn't have her family go with her, but she also waited for over an hour on Andrew Colvette before she went to the hospital. Now, one, I would say this, even if that did happen, which it didn't, but even if it did, I don't know why it's this big conspiracy on, maybe she didn't want to face it alone. Like, I don't know what could have happened. But we know for a fact that Andrew Colvette met her at the hospital.
Okay.
But talk to me about the family part.
Right.
What is the situation with Erica's family? And maybe you can tell it, and maybe that will give better context to why she went with Turning Point people down to Utah versus her family. Obviously, her mother, who is in Arizona, is very sick.
She can't
so
travel.
that one makes sense, right?
No, she can't
Does
travel.
Erica have any other family, and where are they located?
So her sister's in Ohio, and I think Candace knows all this. She's very close with her cousin, who I've not met. I don't know who that is. I don't know Erica's cousin. Her dad and his wife are way on the west side of Phoenix, and also are not in the best physical ability to travel. And I think the thing with because Candace brought this up on the call with me. She said, well, why didn't this, why didn't that? She brought Turning Point people with her. And again, my mind goes to, this was Charlie that was assassinated. So the Turning Point people, they say themselves, we're like a family.
Right.
So obviously they want to go, right? And I don't have information about that part of it that you guys do about Andrew and all that, but I do know that Erica literally stepped out of the clinic and dropped to her knees and was like, literally like, what is going on?
Did you take a picture?
Went straight to the airport and straight to, and then Father Klein, which is a very dear friend of their families, he met her there just to pray for her. And then God bless this man, he went with her.
Yeah, get on the plane.
Exactly, there was no questions. There was a need, there was a crisis. And I think that the biggest thing is when you're in a crisis, you go with whoever's there.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do these kinds of things. And also getting the information of, was Charlie still alive? I need to get there as quickly as I can,
Terrell Farnsworth, within 4 seconds, was doing a selfie video saying Charlie's dead. Bibi Netanyahu was announcing it over in Israel. People, shut up. Seriously. Enough is enough.
And so that part of it with the family, I just don't think there was anyone right there that could have gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, the reason I bring up the Andrew Colvette waiting for an hour on the tarmac, the reason I bring that up is because Candace frames it as, well, that's really weird, right?
Weird, yeah.
That's weird that she wouldn't go directly to the hospital. She would wait over an hour for Andrew Colvette, which did not happen. But then she
No, you're right. It didn't happen because they were both there before Andrew took the flight back to Arizona to make it look like Erica came back. So nice try, Graham. Nice try. And no, as a married person, I wouldn't wait on the tarmac for an hour for anybody to go to the hospital to see my husband. Not a chance.
Also finds it weird that Erica's family that lives across the country
Right.
wasn't
Ready to
on the
go.
plane with there.
Right.
What was she supposed to do? Was she supposed to wait for a
For
day
them,
for
yeah.
them to fly in to Arizona and then?
Again, they are minimizing. It wasn't just the plane ride to Utah, it was the entire service and the gigantic memorial service, the personal memorial service. They weren't at none of it. That's what she asked about. And they're acting like, her stick mother was supposed to jump on a flight. Nobody was expecting that. It was a simple question. Why is her family not involved in any of this? And personally, I think it's because they want to keep their distance because their shit comes back to so much of it. In my opinion, allegedly.
They all fly together to Utah. The
Right.
the contradiction there
Correct.
is it's staggering.
Right.
And I think Candace is getting to a point where she has lied so much.
Correct.
She has misinterpreted intentionally so many things that she can't keep straight with her own hypocrisy.
Well, and she takes the human aspect out of all the stories as well, because I mean, if you're in a crisis in that moment, the people that show up for you that are right there within reach, you're going to go in that moment for support. And I think that that's something that is not criminal. I mean, Candace kept saying it's weird, it's weird, it's weird. And I'm like, weird doesn't equal criminal, number one. And weird just means different. And so maybe you would have a different way of handling a crisis. We don't know, we weren't there.
Yeah.
I don't believe in judging someone else how they handle something because I don't know what you would do in that moment. I can't imagine hearing that conversation. And so I think there's also a level of complete disregard for the human part of this conversation.
Yeah.
And these are real people with real lives.
Correct.
And there's real repercussions for people.
Yeah.
And that's
There
where,
should be.
my heart
Bigger
is
ones.
in this whole conversation is the fact that you don't get to do damage to people and can continue this. There's a reprobate mind in here from a biblical standpoint.
Yep.
There is the whole depraved mind, which from my experience in prayer is the fact that God will give you over to that until it's time to not do that anymore.
Right.
And I truly believe that that's why these conversations are people becoming more outspoken about this is wrong, this is crazy. It reminds me of, and I said this before, of the whole COVID mindset, to where those of us that spoke out from day one were crazy. You don't know anything, you're this, and then all the people started to take the narrative and build the narrative, which is a pattern. Like I said, there's pattern recognition in here in these kinds of human behavior. And so then there comes a point in time to where at a tipping point to where people are realizing, yeah, this is getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
We're reaching, we're trying to connect dots that go nowhere.
Yeah.
We're trying to do these things, and then people are mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. You've done so much damage to people until people have said, we've had enough.
Right.
And then you get the more people like yourself, and you've been speaking out for a while, and that's why I reached out to you, was the fact that this has to stop. And there comes a point in time to where you need to step in.
Yeah. Well, I think the
He's not going to stop shit.
argument can be made. Candace has made a career out of saying, well, that's just weird.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. Normal people wouldn't behave this way.
Yeah.
Well, I would argue that 6 months worth of daily content,
Yeah.
doing what she's doing, is not a normal Charlie's bestest friend in the entire
No.
world
No.
would ever behave in such a way. And,
He was very kind and generous to Erica until Erica started getting caught in all her lies. So again, stop it.
I wasn't Charlie's closest friend, but I owe everything I have to Charlie. And I truly believe that what Candace is doing, if it had been anybody else that had been murdered, and Candace was doing this to their wife or their widow and their children, Charlie would be the first one to be on the front lines.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he was the only other person with a megaphone big enough
Right.
to take her on.
Right. Well,
See, guys, Charlie quite literally said, Candace, this is David. And she is. You guys are just so foolish to think that we're all gonna, and like, we can't think for ourselves. You think because Candace said something that we automatically, oh gosh, well, that's gospel. That it must be true. Candace has made mistakes. She comes out and clears her mistakes when she does so. And she hasn't been on all week, and I've been doing my own thing. I can think for myself. I know Baron can think for himself, and I know plenty of other people that are on here doing podcasts can think for themselves. They don't have to have Candace thinking for them. We choose to support her because we do, in fact, believe her, because that's what the evidence shows, in our opinion, allegedly.
Well, there's a point in time to where you honor and you have integrity, and it has to overcome the world's conversation. Yeah. Our culture is so inverted right now. Moral inversion is rampant, and that's what I believe this is. It's like, when you say something about someone, you need to look in the mirror. Yeah. The accusations, the lies, all the things. And then Candace also mentioned, there's no way that Erica could have done all these businesses that she's done in these LLCs and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, do you know the mind of an entrepreneur?
I have multiple LLCs.
I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I have many, Yes. And then she did ask me how I met Erica.
It's amazing to me the things that she says.
Yes.
That she tries to come across as very knowledgeable about. But even a statement like that with like the multiple LLCs and all this stuff, you can pay LegalZoom to file, do your state filings and stuff for you, and you never have to touch a button.
Touch a thing, yes.
And
right.
She tries to act like...
No dispute there, Graham. The purpose behind the LLCs is to funnel the money. Dumbass. Like, we're stupid and don't know that. Like, it's about how hard it is to file an LLC. Shut up. Y'all put them up like every day on the daily, and it's for funneling money. Stop it.
She's this expert on things, but then she says things like that. And it makes you wonder, do you have any idea what you're talking about?
Well, that's why I said that a perceived place of authority. That's why I said that, because people do listen to her. And you just said multiple LLCs. I have multiple LLCs. I've had multiple businesses and brands. And so when you realize that that is Erica, she questioned her degrees and what she does. And I'm like, Erica is a brilliant young woman. And in any other situation, years ago, without a Candace in this, people would be very much in admiration of the way that Erica has handled herself, of the way that she stepped in. It's a biblical, virtuous woman that steps in to continue her husband's legacy.
Absolutely.
And so when you look at this from that...
She's not continuing his legacy. She is going against every single thing that got him killed. You people are crazy.
From that standpoint, you realize she built brands. She lived in New York. She continued with brands. She met Charlie. Her life changed, which is what we talk about, become a wife, become a mother. I mean, I literally am the same exact way. I had my business. I took off 18 years to raise my children, and then I'm back in the game again.
So let me ask you, did Charlie go to high schools and speak to high school students and sound like he was drunk or messed up? And then also, did Charlie have a high school get together where he had CPS called on him? No, they're going against everything that Charlie stood for. They're destroying his legacy and doing the exact opposite of the reason he got killed. People make me sick.
Everything has been a continuation of my character, right, to have that depth to it. And Erica's the same exact way. And so all these multiple brands that she's talking about and questioning everything, if you understand the entrepreneurial mindset and the integration that Erica had, even like if you look at Proclaim, for instance, she had the idea, she wanted to do it. It was an amazing thing. It was buy one, give one, all the things. She was busy and she kept talking about it. And I go, give me the graphics. So she gave me the graphics. I built the samples and gave them to her for her birthday. I said, now go. And then all of the content and all of the context. I've been in fashion for years. Yeah. And so it's like you mentor someone.
That people are now using those fashion photos against her, yes, as if she was some gold digger.
Oh, it's crazy.
And
I style.
It's not the fashion that made her a gold digger. It's the history of boyfriends that have to be in an influential position. Shut up again, Graham. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to speed this up because, quite frankly, he's annoying me.
most of the photos. I was there, and so that's why I wanted.
So you were there for these infamous photos.
Yes, I was there. I was actually there whenever Charlie proposed to Erica. Because
wow.
and again, a very privileged, intimate place to be to witness these types of things. And so there's so much there that people don't understand. And I don't fault them. And I actually forgive Candace for all of this, to be honest with you, because I think she's being used.
You're better than me at this current moment. I'm not there
think
yet.
she's being used, you know, and so you know, I think that when someone is being used for evil, you know, again, it's not my place to.
Like, y'all are being used by the little place the size of New Jersey and the billions of dollars to take Turning Point to the next level that Charlie refused and she therefore accepted? You mean like that?
Judge someone. It's my place to amplify the good.
Yeah.
It's my place to speak truth about someone that I know and that I know is doing great things in the world.
All right, another thing that Candace is just fixated on, and I almost feel like she's fixated on it because it's almost like, feels like potentially a power trip, like being able to claim Charlie. In fact, I made a video about this, and it's the whole Catholic thing. Now, again, I got nothing against Catholics. I'm not a Catholic. I'm a Protestant. You know, not because I'm anti-Catholic. I'm just not Catholic. I made a video saying it feels like she's trying to. It feels like her and other people are trying to claim Charlie.
Right.
And I said in my video that I made, the only people to get to claim Charlie are his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Erica, and his children. Like that's it. His parents too, but I mean, he's a grown man. He's married with kids. Like it's God, his wife, his children. Was Charlie Catholic? Was Charlie enrolled in OCIA courses and things like that?
No, and it's funny because on the conversation with Candace and I, she brought up all these things, and I know it was because of my relationship with Eric, I'm sure. He was not taking classes. She said that people told her that he just liked the architecture, and so I threw myself into that because my husband's Catholic. My older daughter is Eastern Orthodox Catholic. I love going to the church to sit in it in reverence and tradition. Yes, that's literally, and again, it's not that deep. That's literally what it was. So he was not Catholic. He was not taking classes. He was doing none of those things. You know.
Just to remind you, she has text messages of him actually saying that he should.
And so I think that whenever you try to, and put it in your words, claim something, again, you're hijacking the actual message of Charlie's faith and questioning where it comes from, what the foundation is. And I think Charlie was crystal clear in that. Yeah. And so to try to, again, poke holes in this and hijack this is what Candace is doing. And even in this situation, which she doesn't get to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a natural lead into the next thing, and I hate to even have to talk about it, but you know, again, the obsession with the Catholicism thing, I don't know if she feels like maybe if she can prove it, she gets to claim it, or maybe if she can prove it, that might upset some donor. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And that's the psychosis, to your point, of this whole thing.
Correct.
All of these things that we're talking about, what does it matter? Even, okay, Erica apparently had a boyfriend or something before Charlie. Who hasn't? Well, I haven't had a boyfriend, but who had? Yeah, that'll be the next thing. But like, okay, I dated other women before I married my wife, and
But did you lie and say that you didn't? Because that's what we're calling her out on, dumbass. She's on video saying that she didn't date. She faked who she was. So nice try again. It's not working.
Wife dated other men before she married me.
Right.
And the whole thing has turned into this whole things that are completely normal in life. Even if Charlie did, like, hey, I like this part of Catholicism, but I can't. Like, I like that.
Right.
You know, he said something along the lines of, Protestants may have overcorrected with Mary, which I also agree with that. That as Protestants, we don't give Mary her due enough. We don't venerate her enough. We don't honor her enough.
Yeah, she's kind of important.
Very important. Yeah. That I agree with wholeheartedly. I love the Catholic Church and the adoration, where you can just go and you can just.
And that's what Charlie loves.
And you can just be with the Lord. I love those things. Why does it matter?
I think just, if I look at this from a 30,000-foot view, I think it's just that she methodically wants to try to tear them down and is trying to connect dots. Like I said earlier, they don't connect. So even to the dating part of it, right? I met one of Erica's, ex-boyfriends, big deal.
Yep.
You know, I mean, none of this stuff matters. And that's what this whole expose, from what I'm understanding, is that she's trying to put this timeline together to where Erica's not this and she's not this and but there's a consistency of character that people that know Erica. And so none of these things are criminal. Like I said, I mean, if Charlie loved to sit in a Catholic church because he loved the reverence and the tradition, so I do the same thing.
Lock him up for doing such a thing. How
right?
dare he?
But I think it's again, it's to seed the doubt, it's to seed the implication, it's to let somebody then draw their conclusion through their psychosis to come to the other side of this is what actually happened.
Things from us.
Exactly, and that's the interesting thing in the world today. It's like, because I thought about it too. It's like, if you don't say anything, then silence means compliance. If you do say something and you're coming out ahead, then you have something to hide. Yeah. You know, so you really can't win. So do what you got to do and do what's right anyway.
Candace is putting the seed of doubt that it's not a lie, but if they will lie about Charlie being Catholic, what else will they lie about? Yeah. Well, the same thing with what we've debunked already.
Correct.
If Candace will lie about that, what else will Candace lie about?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Another conspiracy that was going around, circulated by Candace and many others, is, was Charlie even buried? Was the burial? Did the burial actually happen? Why do we not have any proof of any kind that Charlie was buried, or where Charlie is buried? well, and then my response was, well, because he was just murdered, so if people knew where he was buried, they desecrated his burial, all of this stuff. Can you confirm to the world right now that you know for a fact that Charlie Kirk was buried?
Yes, yes. And my question to that, or my statement to that is, your entitlement is deafening.
Yeah.
You know, because
I wasn't invited to the private thing. You don't hear me whining about it.
No, I mean, and believe me, I wish I wasn't there. And so, you know, when you...
I don't believe you. I mean, you can sit here and look us dead in the face and say that he is buried. I don't believe. I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. And this was not very good damage control. And I suspect that Candace is gonna wipe the floor up with your asses this week with any kind of luck. But I am moving on from this because I can't take much more of this lady and this asshole. It's literally a Candace free for all for discuss. Oh, that I was gonna show you. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. So
65 brothers and sisters, I gotta tell you, I am so excited about today. We are doing a live Q&A. I cannot wait to get down to answering some of these questions, but I want to say something right off the bat, and that is our dear Erica is very much under the weather. And it's got to be kind of bad because most of the time that's not enough to keep her from doing anything, especially when it comes to stuff like this. We've been looking forward to this Q&A for quite some time. Obviously, we're going to continue to do it. And we're going to have Kate join us in just a second, which I'm looking forward to. But I just wanted you to know that. And what I wanted to do was just open up in prayer.
So why didn't her daughter go do it? That's the part that she supposedly did work for. And that was a recently scheduled Q&A. But wait, there's more. So this is another one scheduled with the same dude. And you see it was September 26th. This was pre-scheduled. So she went ahead and agreed to do a Q&A that she never did after she lost her husband. Again, it's just nothing but lies from these people. Well, I actually did have a video on Andrew that I wanted to cover tonight, but I think I kept everybody long enough with this nonsense. So maybe we will cover Andrew tomorrow. Tyler Robinson does have a hearing. Well, it is a hearing, but it's a decision from the judge on whether they're going to disqualify the prosecutor. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna have to go back and look, and I'll announce it and have it up here like an hour before to watch it, and the judge will be given his decision on that. So we'll see that tomorrow. And guys, if you like the video, or even if you don't, please like and subscribe. It helps truly an algorithm. And if there's anything that you want me to cover or talk about, hit me up in the comments and we'll see what we can do. So that'll be it. So please like, subscribe, share, turn on notifications. And I'm going to keep this as my background anytime nothing's up, because it's all for him. So with that, good night, y'all. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.